Hello everyone, my name is Michaela and I'm here with Sergeant Steve. This is going to be episode 2 of our Q&A series with SLPD officers. We have a couple questions from the community and let's get right into them. So our first question is, how can we help ourselves stop crime in our communities with the police?
So at the San Leandro Police Department, we're really interested in co-producing public safety with the community. So a couple of things that we can do. We can organize a neighborhood watch group with people in our neighborhood. So we really want people out of their homes, engaging with their neighbors, and coming up with a plan, and we can help facilitate it, but to come up with a plan to have a neighborhood watch group that people are going to be witnesses in their neighborhood to look out for things that don't belong there. And when they see something suspicious, give us a call, and we can come out and investigate it. A couple other things that we can do is you can go to Costco right now and buy a home surveillance security system for a few $100s, and that's actually very significant for us. It does two things. So first, it's a visible crime deterrent. If somebody sees surveillance cameras on a home, they're less likely to break in and victimize that home or that family. But second, in the event that a crime does occur, video surveillance gives us a lot of information as far as the suspects that committed that crime, the vehicles that were used. It's a good source of evidence for us. And then lastly, check with our SLPD social media, because our crime prevention unit does a great job of updating and giving crime tips for crime trends that are affecting the area. And there's always local events and educational tools that we provide via social media.
All right, and our second question is, why are some response times quick and other response times slower?
So that's another great question. So a lot of people ask, why can't you guys roll with lights and sirens to every call for service? It would be great if we could, but we can't, because we have to take into account community safety. Not every call for service requires us to turn our lights and sirens on. Some do. If it's a significant emergency, we will, but it's not safe to do it all the time. So what we try to do is we try to weigh public safety with the need to get to somewhere in a swift manner. We always try to do everything we can as safe as possible, but we have to weigh those two things out. And then also, we have to keep in mind that staffing can affect our ability to get to calls for service. Our goal is to always take care of our community, no matter what the call for service is. Again, our goal is to get there and to serve the community in that way. But again, because of staffing, that might increase that timeline for a response. If we don't have a lot of officers on the street, calls for service are going to hold until we have available officers to go and take care of that call.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of staffing and other such, how many officers have received specialized training in hostage crisis and negotiations?
So we have two different groups. We'll start with the crisis intervention team. And that team is comprised of basically all the sworn sergeants and officers that we have. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's employed by the City of San Leandro Police Department, they're required to go through CIT training. And that training is very significant because it gives us the tools and expertise that we need to essentially contact and peacefully resolve calls for service where someone's having a mental health crisis. Mm-hmm. And second to that, it's also given us the ability to have a relationship with organizations in the city that offer sustainable solutions for those that are in mental health crisis. Mm-hmm. And we've seen a lot of good resolutions for calls for service where people have, for an example, been suicidal, mm-hmm. and we've been able to essentially talk them away from harming themselves and get them the care that they need. Yeah. That's the first group. The second group is H&T, or hostage negotiation. And that's a smaller group, and they're specially trained to deal with high-risk situations. They're part of our tactical operations team, which our SWAT team is also a part of. Anytime the SWAT team has a call-out or they have a call for service involving their response, typically high-risk situations, H&T, or the hostage negotiators, are deployed with them, and they take care of all communication with either the suspect in that case or persons having mental health crisis.
And that kind of leads into our fourth question. Whenever it comes to these high-risk, high-stress situations, how do you keep yourself calm?
So I would say that some of the ways we keep ourselves calm in these high-risk situations, the first and foremost is our training. At the San Leandro Police Department, we get a lot of training, not just with firearms or use of force, but a lot of different things. De-escalation, communication. We have a lot of different aspects that we train our officers on so they can be well equipped to deal with any situation they're faced with. So that's the first one, is training. And secondly, we have excellent people that work here. So there's a lot of reliance on our teammates. When we go to a call for service that's risky or dangerous, A lot of times what gets us through that and gets us to a peaceful resolution or a safe resolution is our training, but also the excellent teamwork that we have here.
And our final question, what are some ways you work to develop a good relationship between citizens and the police?
So I believe that one of the simplest ways we can create a positive relationship is just by engaging with our community, having simple conversations. I think that you're seeing a big change, and we're putting a lot more effort into having contacts in our community that are non-enforcement related. So you're going to see us having events here at the PD, and that's one way to do it. But again, for myself and the people that I work with, a lot of us just engage in simple conversations at a coffee shop with people. And we've been able to create and sustain long-term friendships with people, not just relationships, but friendships with people in the community, just by being human and having conversation.
All right, thank you, Sergeant Steve, for participating in this Q&A. Do you have any final words?
I do. The San Leandro Police Department is actively hiring. We are very interested in anybody who wants to look into law enforcement. Please visit whereareblue.org for further information. But again, get an application in and come work here. It's a great place to be.
Thank you guys for watching, and you can look forward to more episodes in the future.